Hey, what's going on, guys? So, with Bitcoin surging in the recent weeks, I'm going to make a video and a little technical analysis on Bitcoin and why I think that it can continue to push upwards, but at the same time, wait for a dip buy to bounce off the EMA and the SMA to possibly get back into a position here. So, for starters, we're looking at this EMA line here. As a general rule of thumb, as Bitcoin pushes above, I'm looking at a 4-hour time frame. 1 minute, 4 hour. So on a four-hour time frame, each candlestick is 4 hours. So this is probably about a day, about 4 candlesticks, 1 day, 2 day, so on and so forth. So with that said, this line is called the EMA, the exponential moving average. As Bitcoin pushes above this EMA, you can see that it has this upward propensity, right? Once it gets overextended, it pulls back a little bit, bounces off this EMA, finds support, continues pushing higher, so on and so forth. Another nice push. This is a breakout from the resistance right here. How do I draw on this? You can see the resistance right here. I don't know how to draw a line, so excuse me. Breakout, consolidation, comes back down, gets shorted back down. This time it actually has a nice fat red candlestick that pushes below this blue EMA, and it gets shorted and continues downtrending because it's getting pushed down by this EMA. Right? It tries to find and break back through that EMA, but it can't, finds resistance, gets pushed back down. So right now, this is where we're currently at. Today, Bitcoin has a lot of news. It has a lot of hype surrounding it. A lot of hedge funds are starting to enter positions. And a lot of institutional holders are starting to invest as a form of an asset class, similar to gold, similar to silver, copper, etc., etc. Bitcoin is not only a cryptocurrency, but more importantly, it's an investment vehicle and it's an asset class, and that's how a lot of these institutional investors are starting to view it. So with that said, the market cap is reaching about $550 billion, which is surpassing Berkshire Hathaway, other companies of that nature, of that size, of that market cap. But in terms of an asset class or a currency, something similar to something like gold, per se, the market cap is relatively low, right? The market cap can surpass trillions of dollars and still be relatively cheap from a very macro economic standpoint. So with that said, JP Morgan today just put a price target of 145,000 on Bitcoin, which is obviously for someone like JP Morgan to make that price target, to make that statement on a asset class that has a little bit of controversy as far as the power of it as an investment vehicle, the legitimacy of it as an investment vehicle. Obviously, this news is very profound and powerful for Bitcoin as an asset class right now. With that said, because of this news today, that is the reason that I think that Bitcoin can break out from its resistance, which it just did on a 4-hour time frame as I'm making this video. It's now pushing upwards of 35,000. It just broke 35,000 and it's continuing to push upwards. Currently it's trading at 35,288. It's consolidating and pulling back a little bit from where it was about 25 minutes ago. It touched 35,862 as the high, and it's pulling back to 35,294 here. So with that said, a nice little pullback for the boys, and I can see this pushing upwards of 36.37 in this cycle as the MACD right here, down below here, is starting to turn upwards. And as you can see, back to this EMA that I was referencing, it's being pushed upwards above this EMA, breaking out of this resistance. So you see a nice little breakout here. Consolidation is finding support off of this resistance at around 30, what is this apex right here? About 34,500, say resistance. So that resistance of 34,500 now becomes a new support line. And as you can see, it's starting to consolidate, find support at 35,000. A couple minutes ago, I said 35,200. It's now pushing upwards. So it seems like it's finding and consolidating and finding its support here at 35, around 35,000. And I think we can see a nice push upwards to 36,000, 37,000 as it starts to like I mentioned, get more institutional investors, more hedge fund managers, more institutional funds. And what I mean by institutional funds is not retail investors, not $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. We're talking $20, $30 billion, right? We're talking institutional money that causes the market cap to drastically increase overnight. So with that said, this may be a dip buy opportunity, even though it's starting to surge upwards, even though Bitcoin is pushing to new highs. This could be the consolidation prior to another massive push towards $50,000 in this current cycle. Now, if we zoom out a little bit, this is a 4-hour time frame. I like to look at analysis on an even bigger time frame, right? So on a 3-day chart, actually, let's go to a 1-day chart. On a 1-day chart, the MACD is starting to level out. And if you don't know about MACD, I encourage you to watch other videos regarding MACD. There's a lot of fantastic content on YouTube. I'll try to link some in the comments below or in the bio below. But the MACD is a fantastic technical analysis tool to use, as is the RSI. MACD stands for moving average crossover denominator, and the RSI stands for relative strength indicator or index. So research MACD, RSI, the exponential moving average, which is this blue line, the EMA, it's also referred to, and then also this green line right here, which you can't really see. This is the 180-day SMA or simple moving average, another great technical analysis tool that shows upwards momentum and propensity as the EMA trends above it. So keep those in mind, look those up. Like I said, you can find a lot of those on YouTube. There's tons of videos on those technical analysis indicators, and I'm sure you'll find a lot of value. So with that tangent aside, let's get back to the Bitcoin analysis. So you can see on the 1-day chart, it's continuing to push upwards above this EMA, right? And as a general rule of thumb, from an EMA standpoint, when you're analyzing this EMA, the higher a candlestick is above that EMA, the more propensity and the more momentum it has upwards. So right now, even though Bitcoin is, some would say it's overextended, it actually, from a more macro standpoint, not a day trader standpoint, not a 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute time frame, even an intraday swing trader, 30 minute, 40 minute time frame, this has the momentum, and it has the technical indicators that show that it's reaching a breakout point right here, and this large green candlestick is showing a breakout of previous highs. And for that reason, I think that Bitcoin could very easily hit 36, 37 in the near 12 to 48 hours. And I think after that, I think if it consolidates, it can continue to push even higher based on the news, based on the hype, based on the media and the attention that is being brought into Bitcoin right now from institutional shareholders. Jim Cramer just referenced Bitcoin on his show on Fast Money on Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade. There's a lot of institutional investors. Carl Icahn is starting to talk about Bitcoin as an asset class. Very, very famous institutional investors are starting to get their hands and their feet kind of wet, for lack of better words, in Bitcoin. They're starting to nibble at it. They're starting to play with it, and they're watching as this asset class is receiving currency type investments. And what I mean by that is the market cap is reaching, or has the potential to reach, currency type levels, which we're talking $5, $6, $7 trillion. The market cap of Bitcoin is currently only at 550 billion. So if you look at it from that standpoint, from a fundamental standpoint, based on the pure market cap size, Bitcoin is extremely undervalued. And for that reason, this might be the time to buy into Bitcoin, to start nibbling at Bitcoin, because it very well could push to 50 in this cycle. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you find value in this video, and I look forward to sharing more knowledge with you in next videos. Thanks.